Okay, so picking up from the last video, um, so yeah, I decided to pursue portrait art. I tried drawing eyes for a long time. That was actually most of my practice. I of course drew lips and other faces, of course, but I really wanted to challenge myself and master drawing eyes. And I still feel like I have a lot to learn when it comes to drawing, especially drawing eyes as well. But I will say I have come a long way from what I've been doing. And that does make me happy. But I do want to be better. So, anyway, this eye's not quite turning out the way I want it to. I think I drew my initial lines too dark, but also my hand's a little shaky right now. Speaking of, it is kind of difficult sometimes just to draw with shaky hands, even if you can't help it. My hands aren't always shaky, but they can be sometimes. I'm trying to draw the tiny little, I suppose capillaries, coming basically in a spherical manner. Like they're not all coming in one direction like a box. They're coming from basically at an angle. But anyway. I'm getting somewhere with it. But anyway, my art teacher was, for a long time, impressed with what I could do. I might try and reach out to him at some point. I don't know if he's actually still alive. That's the issue. Because he was an inspiration to me. Because he encouraged me to continue. And he made a comment that actually still sticks with me to this day. He claims that I was probably one of his best art students. This was senior year of high school. And that was probably the best compliment I had ever received. And yeah, it inspired me to continue. But granted, eventually college got in the way, and in 2016 I kind of just stopped altogether. And then comes 2017, and my father passes away, and I think of nothing. I don't think of art. I tried to play video games for a while, but shortly after, a couple years later, my interest waned because I didn't get any new games. I played the same games over and over, and eventually just got boring. I didn't find any of the new games interesting based on the commercials and the reviews. I would read a bunch of reviews for games, and it just seems like most of modern games aren't even worth my time, or anyone's time, really. People might still buy the popular video games like Call of Duty, but I won't, because it's just the same recycled garbage. Like, it doesn't matter anymore. But anyway, I stopped drawing from 2016 to, I'd say 2019. 2019 I tried doing a couple drawings, a few, actually. And then I stopped again, because I just did not get that spark. And then, I would probably say end of 2022, early 2023, I started slowly getting back into it with a few drawings. I drew Vecna from Stranger Things, and then I drew Dracula from the Final Voyage of the Demeter, and, sorry, taking a bite of some food. And then I tried, actually I think that was all I drew from that time period. It's not a whole lot, but it was enough to get the ball rolling. And then, of course, my recent breakup, I decided to try doing art again to see if it would help me. And it does to some extent, because I realized that, maybe deep down I am just an artist. I'm not a physicist. I'm not a mathematician. Granted, I have the abilities to be those, but I just don't care. And maybe that's okay. You know, my ex was right. You know, maybe it's just fine living a simple life and doing something you love on the side. You know, again, I hope at some point I can make money off of my art, so that way I can at least continue to buy more tools and advance. So, there's that. But I don't expect it to take off now. I still need to work on getting prints. And, you know, that'll take some time because I still need to get a car. But once I get a car, that'll be the step in the right direction for me to branch out and actually start making you know, physical objects of my artwork, like prints, maybe shirts. I don't know what y'all would like to see, but yeah, those are the things that I plan to get up and going. So, just to talk about what I'm doing here, I'm basically shading in circles. I'm using a 0.3 millimeter mechanical pencil, and I go over and over and apply layers to my drawing until I'm satisfied with it. I will definitely add some darker areas to make contrast, but you know, I think this is coming along reasonably well. Granted, I can't show you all the details because, again, I don't know how the legs of this tripod work just yet. I don't know if they extend outwards. I think so. I think this is actually the extent to what to which the legs can actually extend out. So that is kind of unfortunate. But anyway. And when it comes to drawing the eye, usually most of the detail will be in the iris, and of course, you know, the iris can vary from person to person. But one thing to keep in mind is I go over in layers. So this is me not shading. Like, this is me, not shading, sorry, not blending. I'm not blending anything in. I'm not trying to do any fancy effects with a blending tool. Sometimes I just like to challenge myself and do a drawing that that doesn't have any blending. That's pretty pretty static in terms of that. But there, you know, you can see all the shading that I'm doing and going back over until I get, you know, what I feel is right. I think overall today I spent maybe the better part of an hour, maybe 2 hours drawing this. And it's more detailed than what the camera can pick up, but, you know, I'm not gonna try and adjust anything right now because I'm trying to get used to this this tripod. It is definitely much better than the other one, much more stable. And I'm able to actually get a lot of detail in, or at least I can show more detail, I think, you know, from what I can reasonably show you guys. And as for inspirations, I think that was the only inspiration that I had, was just my art teacher. I feel like inspiration should come from within, and it was more of the fact that he believed in me from the start, that I could be a good artist, that really kind of fueled that fire. Granted, he was a crazy guy, and I think he was on drugs. Not just marijuana. He definitely had more energy than your average teacher, but we liked him nonetheless. I hope he is still alive, but, you know, I don't know. Because it'd be nice to try and catch up with him. But, I mean, the school's right down the road. Maybe one day once I get the car, I'll go down there and see if he's still around. Part of me is kind of afraid of asking that question, you know, if he's around anymore, because I feel like I might know the answer, and I'm not sure how I would take that news, because I almost feel like he was a friend. Not like a super close friend, but just someone that I could talk to about one of my primary interests, which is art. And, you know, it would be a pretty hefty blow if I, you know, find out that he's no longer with us. You know. So, anyway, gonna end this video, upload another part once I'm done eating dinner, showing basically the rest of the process of drawing the lower eyelid. You can see, I guess, kind of tell there's more detail on this one because this one's obviously done, except for the eyebrow. I might try and add some pore detail if I can. That's difficult to do without blending, but you know, we can try. So anyway, I'll upload these 2 videos for now, and I'll post the 3rd one here in a bit. But hopefully you like it. Hopefully you just like the commentary and the drawing. Maybe one day at some point I can do a live stream of this, hopefully with a better view. So, well, I'll post another one in just a bit, so bye for now.